हेलो एंड वेलकम बैक। मार्केट्स है लाइफ हाई और लाइफ हाई उन्होंने बनाया, मेंटेन भी किए। कोई क्लियर कॉन्क्रीट न्यूज नहीं थी। एक्सपेक्टेशंस पे सारा का सारा मोमेंटम डेवलप होते हुए देखा, चाहे वो ट्रेड डील हो, चाहे आरबीआई की रेट कट, या चाहे और इंटरनेशनल न्यूज। कोई भी कंफर्म रिपोर्ट्स, कंफर्म न्यूज नहीं थी हमारे पास। और उसके बावजूद हमने एक ये मोमेंटम देखा। अब ये मोमेंटम क्यों था और आने वाले वीक को कैसे हैंडल करेंगे, उसके लिए आई थिंक हमें जाना चाहिए एके के पास और समझना चाहिए कि आगे एग्जैक्टली होने क्या वाला है। हाय, गुड इवनिंग।
Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
Okay, kind of confused because the way Wednesday's market behaved
Yes.
without any confirmed news in the kitty, I was not very convinced with the way it was behaving, and somehow Thursday को और Friday को थोड़ा सा confusion और continued होता हुआ गया। तो exactly हुआ क्या?
Uh, Rachit, let me tell you that I am as confused. I was as confused as you. There is no doubt. मतलब अगर आप if you remember, मैंने last week बहुत ही vehemently ये declare किया था कि fresh life high नहीं आएगा unless we actually see the trade deal coming through out in
Right.
the news in the public domain. But contrary to that, the market still went up, hit a fresh high, and not only hit a fresh high, actually it while it looked a little tired at those levels,
Hmm.
it somehow did not fall back drastically. uh, so we
Which
are
we
we are
have
on.
seen usually for like weeks and weeks over the time that from
Yes,
higher
yes.
levels. Right.
Yes. So I expected, I even expected, once the strong momentum was seen on on Tuesday, sorry, on Wednesday, when that such strong momentum was seen, I was pretty much confident that एक बार तो high दिखा देगा Thursday
Right.
को, and but I was equally expecting that them to correct immediately after that. So so this is what happened actually.
And I
Because
very clearly remember we even had this discussion of the records. We had this discussion, and you were very confident after the first half of Wednesday itself. You were talking about the fact now it's inevitable and they will be
yes,
doing it. Though I
yes.
was still not convinced with it, but rest is history. They did it.
Yeah, yeah. So Rajit, how I see it is that this is on the back, this up run, up move is on the back of a whole lot of assumptions and a whole
Right.
lot of anticipations and expectations. Okay. We are expecting US may rate cut. We are expecting India may rate cut. We are expecting trade deal to come through. We are also expecting some good reforms related to financial markets in the parliament winter session that is coming up.
Right.
So the winter session is going to come up in December. I think it's from 1st or 2nd and to all the way till 19th.
First
And
to ninth.
yeah, and some a lot of laws are proposed, a lot of reforms are proposed, but specifically to markets there is some law that is proposed which will specifically create a greater ease of doing business in market. Maybe relax some restrictions or things like that. See what is going to come in the law right now. I don't know. Nobody knows when the bill will be introduced. Then only we'll be able to know that what exactly is coming and how it is going to impact. बट उस सारी चीजों की एंटिसिपेशन पे रैली हो गई और रैली समहाउ सस्टेन हो गई, या ये बोल सकते हैं आप कि इतना पास आके ऑल टाइम हाई के इतना पास आके देयर वाज नो लुकिंग बैक एंड जस्ट द मोमेंटम actually made it cross 26,300 intraday. And if you look at Thursday's closing, we did a 26,200 plus closing for the first time. So that again is a very positive step. So yeah, that is there. And as we speak, अभी कुछ मिनट्स पहले ही जीडीपी डेटा आया है क्वार्टर
Hmm.
टू का, या क्वार्टर टू का. The year on year data seems to be extremely well, uh, as expected, I would say, because I believe last year, if you remember clearly, in September quarter, again we were hitting life high in
Hmm.
September end, and simultaneously we were talking of a major slowdown coming.
Right.
अगर आप लास्ट ईयर की सिचुएशन रिमेम्बर करते हैं, तो
Hmm.
पहले क्वार्टर में और दूसरे क्वार्टर में, whatever, due to a lack of government spending or whatever be the reason, there was a big slowdown in economic figures. Okay. And compared to that, year on year, we are at 8.2% year on year growth in
Hmm.
GDP, which is a very considerably good number, considering the fact that the expectation was somewhere around 7.6. So so this has come out just now at 4 o'clock after market hours. Uh, maybe on maybe this is the kind of news that actually had, some privy was there. Some funds had privy to the news, so that so they drove the markets up. This is a very plausible. There's a very high probability of this thing being there. So that may be the reason. So this is the kind of news that I am confident कि इस पे अगर रैली हुई है तो फिर ठीक है, sustain है, because there is a real number which has come out. There is a
Huh.
real macroeconomic data that has come out.
Established fact is there to back
Correct,
this.
correct,
Right.
correct, correct. So yeah, so now in the hindsight as we see, मुझे लगता है कि ये नंबर भी जो है वो एक तरह से फैक्टर्ड इन है. uh, yes, because Rachit, let me put it simply. हम अगर मूवमेंट देखें, सिर्फ इस वीक का मूवमेंट देखें, तो 25 तारीख को वी वीकली लो वी टच्ड एट 25884,
Right.
right? And the weekly high that we have touched is 26307.
Hmm.
Okay, how many points? 400 points, more than 400 points actually,
Hmm.
430 odd points. Okay, and we are talking about 1.5 days of trade. ओनली 25th को हमने लो टच किया है. 26th को वी हैव गॉन ऑल बिजार विथ दैट सॉलिड अप मूवमेंट, एंड 27th को वी हैव जस्ट मेड द लाइफ एंड कम बैक. ओके, सो ये 1.5 दिन में 400 पॉइंट का निफ्टी का मूवमेंट. ओके, दिस दिस एंड ऑलरेडी व्हेन वी आर नियरिंग लाइफ हाई, तब ऐसा मूवमेंट, आई डोंट सी व्हाई सच थिंग विल ओनली बी a product of anticipation or expectation of news, especially वो न्यूज जो काफी टाइम से एक्सपेक्टेशन जिसकी बन रही है और वो न्यूज डिलीवर ही नहीं हो रही है. सिर्फ वो रीजन नहीं हो सकता है इसका, मेरे हिसाब से. सो देयर हैड टू बी समथिंग which was genuine, something real data based, which was brewing inside. Definitely that we did not. Now in the hindsight we see that the GDP number have come in, and on the face of it, I have not got the chance to study it in details, but on the face of it, it looks through and through very good across all sectors. Construction was at 7.2, defense growth was at 9.7, telecom 7.4. Overall, every sector has reported solid growth over last year. So this could be one of the reasons where
In
this.
that case, are you suggesting, are you trying to point out that this was a complete case of buy on rumors and sell on news, and the next week that we are moving into, we'll see
Yeah,
some kind of.
it is a very high possibility. It is a very high possibility that somebody who has chosen not to buy on pure expectation and nothing concrete, will feel that they have missed the party, they have missed the bus, because by chance, suppose if this news was already factored in, and Monday we do not see a positive shock of this news, because technically this news should come in as a positive shock, maybe not major. I'm not saying that it may go 200, 300, 400 points high on Nifty, no, but it will. I think it should be good enough to at least sustain these levels, or go back to 26,300 again. Okay, अगर वो भी नहीं होता है मंडे को, this means this was factored in. And anybody who is a little more cautious, someone like me, I keep telling everyone that, be cautious, be cautious. Don't jump into a trade. Don't listen to a rumor and jump into a trade. जो भी ट्रेडर वैसा होगा, जो थोड़ा कॉशियस होगा, जो बोलेगा कि नहीं पहले देख लेते हैं, समझ लेते हैं, उसके बाद पोजीशन ले लेंगे, भले महंगे में लेना पड़े, वो यही फील करेगा कि द पार्टी इज ओवर, आई हैव मिस द बस, इस बार निफ्टी पे चढ़ नहीं पाए और निकल नहीं पाए, वो ये फील करेगा. आई हैव अ फीलिंग.
In that case, how do we plan to trade the coming week?
Again, Rachit, I have been for the last many weeks. My range was being adhered to by the markets, and this week was completely. I was also taken aback with this
No,
surprise.
and very frankly, let me tell you one thing very honestly. Yes, we know that the Nifty has always respected those levels, and that was the reason we always come to you and ask. This particular movement that we saw on Wednesday and Thursday,
Mhm.
I was continuously in touch with you. I was in touch with some of the fund managers as well, because I also was confused, and I had to have something in my head which could make me digest this particular act that the market had conducted, or
Hmm.
so at the end of the day they were sounding on a very similar pattern. They were
Right.
saying, "ठीक है, Nifty ने high मार दिया. What about the stocks? What about the stocks that
Correct.
reach
Correct.
holding?
Correct. That is
They are
the
not
thing.
performing." At the time it doesn't
Rajat,
happen like that. This high doesn't really make that much of sense. So,
Rajat, if
sorry,
I may,
yeah.
if I may add, if you see the volumes,
Hmm.
they are not as much or as convincing.
Right.
Okay. If you also see the market breadth, they are at a very, very low level actually.
Hmm.
So there is again, we are getting into that old zone where FIs used to pump in money, a lot of money, into very limited number of high beta stocks, and markets
Hmm.
used to go haywire. Okay,
Only,
but
as we
वो
say, index management was happening there.
करेक्ट, तो वो वो
Right.
वो इंडेक्स बेस्ड स्टॉक्स के अलावा नीचे क्या हो रहा है? नीचे तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा है.
Hmm.
So somehow this rally is, at the moment I would not say I'm very convinced. ये जो GDP का फिगर आया है, that is good, I agree. I will really look out for more such convincing news, more such assurances कि finally we are, the data will show if we are on the right track, if the consumption is getting back again and all that. The whole story is about consumption. अगर वो consumption वापस बढ़ रहा है in coming months, I would say not even days, coming months, I will watch very closely with all this data. I will look at it and then actually try to infer that whether this rally is, or these levels are justified or not.
Okay. So, in that case, again, my question remains: what are the levels that we are seeing for the next?
Okay, I'll quickly wind this up with giving you a very, very good level. I feel again this week's low has been 25,884, right?
Right.
So I would look at that to be next week's support. तो 25,900 आप समझिए एक सपोर्ट है. 880 900 के बीच में एक सपोर्ट है. ऊपर में अगेन जो लाइफ हाई हम टच करके आए हैं 26,300, दैट माइट पोज अ रेजिस्टेंस अगेन. इफ यू रिमेंबर 26,277 को क्रॉस करने में 4 अटेम्प्ट्स लगे हैं एक महीने में.
Hmm.
So we know that at those levels, market gets sticky, markets get top heavy, and it attracts selling. So we know that. तो उस जोन में मतलब आप समझिए 26,250 270 के ऊपर जाते ही वो रेजिस्टेंस फेस करता है निफ्टी. तो
Right.
मुझे लगता है कि वो रेंज के ऊपर होगा. अगेन आई वुड अज्यूम that this GDP thing is factored in and it will not create a positive shock on Monday. I would assume that. If it does, then it's a different story. We need fresh triggers. We have factored in every good possibility for December. We need fresh triggers to move beyond that 250 300 mark. वो जो एक स्टिकी जोन है, जो टॉप हैवी जोन है जहां पे निफ्टी में सेलिंग आ जाती है, वो क्रॉस करने के लिए हमें एक थोड़ा फ्रेश ट्रिगर्स चाहिए. वी नीड दैट. वी हैव एग्जॉस्टेड ऑल द पॉसिबल गुड न्यूज दैट मे कम इन दिसंबर.
Okay. So for the coming week, we should not really get that excited with the GDP figures because of the fact, yes, now it looks like that just with the anticipation in the mind that GDP figures will be good and the market has already rallied and it has discounted the GDP figures. And
Right.
probably in that case, there might be a gap opening in on Monday, but then eventually profit taking might kick in. And for the range, I think that would be comfortable if we say somewhere in between 25,800, 850 on the downside and 26,300, 350 on the upside.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Chaliye. So, as always, it was amazing learning and knowing as to how things are panning out. And after Wednesday and Thursday's movement, we really wanted this discussion to have at least something in our mind to think and understand as to how things are happening. As always, it was amazing learning and understanding about the markets. And have a happy weekend.